Judging from all the notes on the board, our reporter is an assiduous and organized worker.
So let's see what he's got. Photo of the Prince of Woodville.
A photograph of Prince Woodville. Farley is evidently also interested in this affair.
Okay. I'm not seeing the connection quite yet, but... news in brief. The convent of St. Anthony in the town of... Oh, Jesus Christ. Please tell me that is not an actual word. Jesus fucking Christ! On the Isles of Annesley, Wales, was the scene of a macabre discovery last Sunday. Upon the villagers' arrival to the convent, with their arms laden with provisions for the nuns in honor of St. Anthony, patron saint of butchers and good meat. St. Anthony? I'm not sure if that's right. It would seem that it was already too late. Oh, wait a minute. It's good meat. It would seem it was already too late as the temptation by the aforementioned saint struck brutally within the holiday place upon that fateful day. The convent's 16 nuns apparently succumbed to a collective strain of madness, which resulted in their horrifically devouring one another. Their lifeless bodies were found in the canteen around what appeared to have been their last meal, a clear vegetable soup. Okay, so that's the poison, I'm guessing. A member of the fuck if I cannot fucking pronounce words today. Or ever, really. Who wish to remain anonymous, informed us sometimes that the Atrocolites do strike such places where women dwell together as women... Atrocolites? Atrocities? It's hard to make out. I think it's atrocities, but it's difficult to read with my TV the way it is. Atrocities do strike such places where women dwell together. Yeah, mass cannibalism is a frequent occurrence around, wedding showers and such. Due to the complexity of their nature and less able to cope with imposed asceticism that precedes the St. Anthony's Day, it must be said that it was not necessary for just one more day, and this drama would have probably never happened. What in the fuck? Is St. Anthony's Day celebrated by fasting? Is that what they're trying to get at here? The relic of a sausage offered to St. Anthony by an angel found in 987 during the Third Crusade and brought back from Constantinople remained untouched, a sign that the nuns, even in their madness, were able to remain respectful towards the Lord. This member of high religious authorities told us. What the fuck is going on? Cannibal nuns that won't eat a sausage given to a saint by an angel. What kind of... Somebody's been visiting the opium den.
Here's what is strange. An attack of collective insanity.
That's the strange thing about that? This game is bananas. Just maximum bananas. For the Globe Explorer, mystery surrounds the body drowned in the Thames. A body of a man discovered yesterday morning upon the banks of the Thames, and it's Thames, not Thames, still remains a mystery. An autopsy has revealed that the amount of water in the victim's lungs confirms that the man's death by drowning. That's not... If he's been in the water a long time, it's going to happen regardless, really. However, the many gaping wounds on his body point to a savage aggression before death. For the moment, no explanation has been provided by the authorities. The victim was able to be identified. The man, a 53-year-old bargeman, was already known to the law, where his name had appeared in proceedings relating to the breach of legislation. Cannot fucking talk today. 1 second. Okay. Legislation in different merchandise trafficking affairs, principally in the cereal market. Oh, he's a check smuggler. The latest charges date back several days. All right, the court. All right, that makes sense then. He was smuggling in stuff for the poison and had to be taken care of. The court was prosecuting the deceased for destruction. The deceased, sorry, it's hard to read. The deceased for the destruction and degradation of goods, namely a vast quantity of wheat. The shortage ranging simultaneously in London would not have encouraged the judge to lean towards leniency if this horrifying death had not interrupted the proceedings. So he basically destroyed a lot of wheat accidentally or on purpose, and because of the massive famine going around, they weren't going to let him off. And that's it.
A horrible story, and rather a strange one.
That is a horrible story? That is a horrible story. But the women, the nuns with the angel sausage and eating each other, that's not horrible. That's just weird. But a bargeman drowning, that's horrible. What the fuck? That appears to be everything. Well, I can't investigate this again, so I guess that's it. Alright, so now that we have keys...
The DF drawer.
Yes.
There are a lot of cards. I must find out which one was consulted last.
What? I didn't even get a chance to look.
There are a lot of cards. I must find out which one was consulted last.
So you're not even gonna let me look? God damn, you are picky! Wait a minute. Appears to be something at the door here.
The key is still in the lock.
BAM! A lot of cards, I must find out which one. How? Why don't you just fucking look? Alright, or look here.
This ashtray.
It is? Really?
This cigar is of a fine quality. It must be very expensive and difficult to obtain.
And
okay.
It is not even finished. What a waste.
Okay, so that's what I need to look at there.
This ash...
Apparently there's still more here. What?
The cigar end is still hot.
Oh my god!
Farley was not alone when we arrived at his secretary.
Seriously?
You are thinking of the owner of the cigar.
Yes, the reporter smokes ordinary cigarettes. Can you smell the subtle scent of gingerbread? That is the characteristic odor of a Habano Clarissimo. Our mysterious visitor is a rich man, Watson. This category of Havanas is exorbitant, and I cannot imagine a cigar lover crushing out such a marvelous smoke before finishing it. Since we saw no one leaving the building, that must point to a secret exit somewhere.
How are we going to find it?
By retracing Farley's steps from the moment before we arrived. Look, this room is teeming with clues.
I've already looked at all of them. What? Recreate Farley's sequence of actions just before... Oh, okay. The key is still in the lock on the inside of the door. The secretary put the key in the lock when she was leaving. The journalist didn't close the door. The journalist closed the door and left the key in the lock. The journalist wanted to make sure the door was closed. The journalist saw a shadow under the door. The journalist forgot to lock the door. I don't think that's right, but it looked like the most interesting one there. The paper isn't entirely burned. The journalist wanted to get rid of the paper. The journalist dropped the paper into the fire by accident. This paper has nothing to do with the journalist. The journalist deliberately threw this paper in the fire. The journalist wanted to light a fire in the fireplace. The journalist threw this paper into the fire without making sure that it burned entirely. Easy enough. Wait a minute, what? Why is there an arrow there? The armchair is in the wrong place. The journalist sat in the armchair. The journalist pushed the armchair when he ran. The journalist's visitor sat in the armchair. The journalist moved the armchair to get something underneath it. The journalist pushed the armchair when he heard the doorbell. The journalist pushed the armchair as a means of protection. Hard to say, this one. No. Journalist sat in the armchair. Pushed the armchair when he ran. Journalist's visitor sat in the armchair. Journalist pushed the armchair when he heard the doorbell. Oh, I see. I get the order now. I see. There's cigar ash in it from the study. The journalist's visitor smoked a cigar. The journalist smoked a cigar and cigarette at the same time. Cigar's been here for a long time. The visitor smoked a cigar and sat opposite the journalist. The journalist left the cigar to cover a woman's perfume. The journalist likes the smell of cigars. Sat opposite the journalist. Journalist pushed the armchair. Moved the armchair to get something from underneath it. Journalist sat in the armchair. Journalist pushed the armchair when he ran. Visitor sat in the armchair. I'm certain that's correct. But I'm missing some stuff here. I'm missing some stuff. I'm definitely missing some stuff here. So I have 6 things.
This book has fallen down from the shelf.
Interesting. What? What?
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. My word, it's my stories about your investigations.
A real investigative reporter must have read them, my dear Watson.
But it says by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle! Sir Arthur... Oh, God! It says by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who is the actual author, but not in the Holmes universe. What in the fuck? Oh my god.
My adventures have fallen from this shelf.
Oh, fuck! They can't even get the in-game canon right. Watson wrote The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and published them. But not under the pen name Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Conan Doyle did it damn himself. Oh, wait.
The secretary has just changed the typewriter ribbon. There are smudges of dark blue ink.
Okay, then should I not be able to use the dark blue ink to figure out which... Is there anything else around here? Maybe I can look at this now.
There are a lot of cards. No, it is...
Looking for the one with dark blue ink stains, I'm guessing?
No. No. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't.
I can just go through each one.
No. No.
There we go. Dark blue ink stain.
These
Doesn't
blue
really show
stains
much,
come
but...
from an old typewriter ribbon. This card has been removed recently.
Not that I could really see the dark ink stains before I pulled
This
it out.
card has got grease marks on it. The reporter made them. Apparently, he's making inquiries about Prince Woodville, too.
Closely related to the royal family, recently permitted to legally use the title of prince after investigation by a committee of experts and representatives of the royal line. High regard among common people, involved in charitable and philanthropic acts, distribution of soup in the needy areas of Whitechapel, financing a campaign for medical treatment, distribution of blankets. He describes himself as popular, but his critics prefer the term populist. Intelligent and cultivated, some abrupt changes of mood have been observed when replying to the journalist's tactless questions.
But where do you come into all this? Look, if we pull the curtain a little, we can see out into the street.
Thank you for now suddenly pointing that out for no apparent reason. Like we already didn't look at the damn thing. Okay, let's have a look back at that. I'm guessing that was a deduction board I was looking at. Yeah. Weird fucking deduction board. Okay, that's 6, so this should be it. Journalist looked out the window and saw Holmes. Journalist stood with his back to the window. Journalist didn't see out the window. Journalist wanted to let more light in the room. Journalist was waiting for a cab near the window. Journalist took a file from the cupboard. Journalist looked out the window and saw Holmes. Journalist wanted to give this book to the visitor. The journalist wanted to draw attention to this book. The book is not from the bookcase. The journalist needed some information to the book. The journalist accidentally dropped the book from the bookcase. The journalist was hiding a compromising photo in this book. Ooh. Having warned his guests, the journalist headed toward this piece of furniture. 4 to 5. The journalist threw this paper into the fireplace. 5 to 6. I guess that means I gotten those right? Okay. So I guess I didn't get any of these other ones right? Yeah!
Farley consulted a card while he ate, which was given to him by his secretary just before she changed the ribbon on her typewriter. The reporter's greasy fingerprints are all over the card.
How
When he
horrible.
went to file it away, he glanced automatically out of the window and saw us in the street.
He closed the filing cabinet and rushed to lock his office door. In his haste, he pushed his chair aside, but didn't think to return it to its place.
Precisely. He then hurried to tell his visitor of our arrival and showed him the way out. He then threw a piece of paper into the fireplace.
But we still don't know how the cigar-smoking visitor departed.
The answer lies in the direction the reporter took, Watson. At a certain moment, he would have been in a place where he had no logical reason to be. Look at our deduction board, and then let us go to the place where the reporter should not be.
Alright. Bum bum. Thing.
My adventure.
Secret bookcase then, I guess? No? What about over here? I have no idea. Cupboard? You got me on this one. Journalist saw Sherlock at the window, ran to the door. The journalist went to warn Holmes of his arrival. Having warned his guests, journalist headed towards this piece of furniture. That's where I went. Into this piece of furniture. Am I supposed to mark it on the deduction board?
Perhaps not, Watson. Perhaps not. Perfect.
Okay. Interesting. It is the fucking magic bookshelf!
Yes, Watson. In his haste, Farley dropped this book, taking it from the shelf.
Let's search this place.
Fucking Scooby-Doo shit.